Thank you all for coming so much. I wanted us to have this conversation because I think it's a huge conversation among women of color. Yes. This colorism, which I've learned is a form of internalized racism, the way that we invalidate ourselves and sometimes each other. And I'm not real sure that we ever really have the complete conversation to talk about how we've experienced it, how we experience each other. So I really wanted to do that today. So let's have the conversation.
Show me the ugly child. Show me the good-looking child.
Hey, it's Miss Cece.
How old are you?
No. Hey, it's Siash Tatiana Chase.
How old are you?
I'm 4 years old.
What grade are you in?
I'm in K4.
Okay, what happened in school today?
The little boy said I look ugly.
And what did you say?
I said,
Stop kicking, baby. What did you say?
I said, I didn't came here to make fashion statement. I came here to learn, not look pretty. And the little boy said I look bad. And I said, you looking mad lately? Bye-bye, see you later, make me mad.
You know, if I had a little girl, I didn't want her to be dark.
As a coffee girl, what you've experienced personally in the world and from your lighter skinned sisters.
I always felt some type of inferiority. I did. I didn't feel like I was good enough. I just didn't feel like I added up. And especially growing up in the South, you know, the boys would always, like the light-skinned girl with the good hair. And so I didn't feel like I had enough to get the cute guy. And until I believed that I was just that dope, because I just know I am now, it festered in me for quite some time.
And how did it come out?
It came out in a lack of, I think, in a lack of self-esteem, probably, more so than not. Just feeling inadequate, really feeling inadequate. Yes.
But I personally feel that a lot of black men are the perpetuators of colorism.
Big time.
Of course.
Like,
Because
I
I really believe that some of them have the most issues with color.
I mean, I don't really like dark-skinned women. Like, they look funny beside me.
The conversation is being framed as a light-skinned versus dark-skinned girl conversation, and it's really it's a black love conversation. Yeah. It's, you know, this is about the fact that, you know, fair-skinned women do, for many men, have a premium on the marriage market. Ooh. I'll never forget when I had a friend of mine that I grew up with. I won't go into detail because people watching this will know who it is. But, you know, I went to an Ivy League, he went to another Ivy League. We saw each other often, and we were riding the train, and he said to me, well, you know, now that I go to insert name of the Ivy League, I can only date fair-skinned women. And he was dead serious. And in my circle, that is prominent. There is a premium, and it is like once you have succeeded, you graduate out of the dark skin. You get closer to the white
Status that comes with a woman that looks fairer.
And it sucks, you know. And there's always anomalies, and you know, I'm not dateless, you know. But at the end of the day, for many people, this is the reality, and that is the root conversation that creates this rift between the dark skin and light skinned girls. It's not really, they're not the ones that are at, you know, making the rift. It's really the men and the perceived inequality on the dating market that's created.
Him. I just said I don't like women with my complexion. I like light-skinned women. I want you to be lighter than me. I love African-American women, but I just don't like my skin complexion.
Sisters are trying to lighten themselves.
I took my color after my father, and I used to hate him because of it.
Being in the bathtub, asking my mom to put bleach in the water so that my skin would be lighter.
One of the most popular products in the third world is skin whitening cream, which gives us a little bit of an idea of how people's perceptions of themselves. I mean, we're talking here about regions of the world where the overwhelming majority are not white.
It has on those young children spiritually.
is that they actually start to devalue themselves in such a way where the spirit begins to shrink.
The consequences of not dealing with this issue is that we lay the foundation for future generations of Black women to deal with the madness. It becomes the norm for how we see ourselves.
There is a Black woman who is dark-skinned in the White House. She's not cleaning, she's not cooking, she's the First Lady.
I feel really, really, really good.
You're not your hair. You're not your skin. You are the soul that lives within.
The darker the fruit gets,
the sweeter the juice.
I think it's so important to focus on the root whenever we have these conversations, because it can easily turn into a divisive conversation. So if we're focusing on the fact that this has been programmed into us to believe or feed into white standards of beauty, which do not necessarily go along with our standards of beauty or how we look. We come in a lot of different shades. That's just the result of slavery, of interracial marriages, things like that. So always focusing on the root and then unpacking these issues as we grow, because I know a lot of people who confident, very confident dark-skinned women where their family instills self-love in them. So it's not a woe is me type of situation. And yes, there is light-skinned privilege, but I think the best way to address this is to try to look at how we've been programmed and get away from that, so we can look at people and judge them by their character. Is this person a good fit for me? Not, oh, she too dark, oh, she too light, he too dark, he too light.
And holding people accountable.